Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the live lower speeds class. We're going to get started and I'm going to start off with a finger dexterity drill. So let me go ahead and mute everyone. All right, here we go. Ready? Creak, ground, sheet, fret, brain, slight, thigh, snake, sweet, thief, whack, roast, whiff, stream, lift, thug, crude, these, cheer, bread, sneer, froze, sway, strike, grand, slick, chart, whim, grab, check, grim, fruit, then, thrift, charge, bluff, grouch, wheat, flop, tread, strain, treat, snow, fright, snooze, speak, sleet, fresh, sweep, third, glad, blunt, brick, cheese. All right. Moving into our next drill. This is a phrase review drill, and you're going to hear the following phrases. That he will, you can phrase that whole thing, T-H-A-E-L, is it, at the, it is, if you, I will, can be, will be, we are, of the, if you have, he is, they will. All right, and here is your paragraph. Ready? I'm going to read this once at 60, again at 80, and again at 100. Is it a Tuesday or Wednesday that he will be arriving in the city? We will be delighted to loan him a school vehicle. If you need assistance, we can be reached at the university during the day. If it is possible, I will give him a tour of the campus on Thursday. We are looking forward to the speech he is giving on Friday. Is the subject interest rates or is it inflation rates? If you have any problems, my staff is at your disposal. They will be very glad to make reservations or assist you in any way. All right, so we'll read that again at 80. Here we go. Is it a Tuesday or Wednesday that he will be arriving in the city? We will be delighted to loan him a school vehicle. If you need assistance, we can be reached at the university during the day. If it is possible, I will give him a tour of the campus on Thursday. We are looking forward to the speech he is giving on Friday. Is the subject interest rates or is it inflation rates? If you have any problems, my staff is at your disposal. They will be very glad to make reservations or assist you in any way. All right, so last time at 100. Here we go. Is it a Tuesday or Wednesday that he will be arriving in the city? We will be delighted to loan him a school vehicle. If you need assistance, we can be reached at the university during the day. If it is possible, I will give him a tour of the campus on Thursday. We are looking forward to the speech he is giving on Friday. Is the subject interest rates or is it inflation rates? If you have any problems, my staff is at your disposal. They will be very glad to make reservations or assist you in any way. All right. Our next drill is going to focus on word families that all start with com, like comment, committee, and things like that. So let me give you your words first. Ready? Compel, comfort, complete, and you can squeeze complete, P-L-long-E-T, committee, complement, competent, complicate, combine, compare, commend, and that was a squeeze, K-M-E-N-D, communicate, comment, and you could squeeze comment, K-O-M-T. All right, here are your sentences. The judge made no comment. The comment was misunderstood. Will you communicate with your broker? We cannot communicate with the agent. We will commend him for a job well done. I commend you for your effort. The committee met on Friday. Is he on the planning committee? Did you complete your training? Where is the complete set of tools? You cannot compel him to answer. Can you compel him to testify? The man gave the girl a compliment. Did you compliment the waiter on the good service? Don't try to complicate matters. Please don't complicate the situation. Is the doctor competent? Is he competent to stand trial? He will compare the two items. Can you compare the prices for me? She enjoys the comfort of a warm fire. Did the mother comfort her daughter after the accident? How do you combine the two recipes? The court reporting school will combine all your grades to compute a grade point average. All right, moving into our number drill. This is going to focus on dates, all right? So I'm going to give you some dates before I give you the sentences. It also has different invoice numbers. Here we go. June 18, August 22nd, December 1st, January 10, May 9th, April 11, March 30, October 15th, February 26, November 29, July 21st, September 7. All right, here are your sentences. I have copies of the 5 invoices. They are dated January 13, February 21st, March 9, April 30th, and May 16th. I believe the invoice dated January 13 is number 18540. The invoice dated February 21st is number 98501. The invoice dated March 9th is number 38954. The invoice dated April 30 is number 73678. And the final one, dated May 16, is number 47820. If Your Honor, please, I would like these invoices entered into evidence. Okay. Now I have a drill here. This focuses on of the along with the period. So you're going to write of the, whatever I say along with the period. Okay, here we go. Ready? Of the book, of the clock, of the mail, of the dog, of the cat, of the sea, of the rail, of the toe, of the snow, of the tail, of the land, of the cage, of the ridge, of the boat, of the skirt, of the load, of the pest, of the shirt, of the gap, of the hip, of the fog, of the tile, of the view, of the yard, of the yarn, of the neck, of the kite, of the stick, of the wire, of the coat, of the stone, of the bat, of the store, of the spine, of the lot, of the stove. All right, moving into Tangle Tamers. Here we go. Ready? Speech impediment, sordid affairs, potential employers, construction landscaping, startling developments, overwhelmingly positive, satisfaction guaranteed, velveteen rabbit, fluorescent orange, biological background, committee president, wall coverings and upholstery, medically induced, spacious grandeur, security professionals, reportedly replied, definitely contemporary, congenial benefactor. Okay, now I have some legal briefs, and they are in sentences. You're going to hear innocence, which is initial N, final NS. Innocent, initial N, final NT. In other words, is N, final RDZ, or you can write it as NERDZ, and then you would have to obviously flag nerds. Judgment, JUMT. Jur, JAOR. Jury, JER. All right, so here are your sentences. The jury will decide the guilt or innocence of the defendant. His innocence is under suspicion. Innocence is not always bliss. She got her way in the guise of innocence. You will remain innocent until guilt is proved. Ian was innocent of the crime. It was a totally innocent transaction. It was done innocently. In other words, I was not planning on attending. In other words, Janet wanted the instructions in Spanish. I believe, in other words, that it is best to proceed. In other words, why do you believe that? The $3,000 judgment will be paid in 60 days. The official decree of judgment will be issued on Thursday. You must know the facts to render judgment. Don't be so judgmental. A juror was missing after the recess. Each juror was polled after the verdict was read. I think juror number 6 was excused. The identity of the jurors was not revealed. The jury was sworn in at 9:30 a.m. Some members of the jury took notes. The last question and answer was read to the jury. Both juries found for the plaintiff. All right. Moving into literary and jury charge. Now I've got some legal terms, and then I'm going to read you the paragraph. You're going to hear action, command, due process, defendant, DEFT, litigation, entitled, writ, party, plaintiff, PL final F, versus, litigant, client, legal, which is L long EL, leal, proceeding, lawsuit. And here is your paragraph. A client employs an attorney to represent him in a legal proceeding or for legal advisement. The client who starts the legal proceeding is known as the plaintiff. The party charged in an action is known as the defendant. The plaintiff and defendant are entitled to due process. A party to a lawsuit may be referred to as the litigant. The word versus means against. Versus is normally abbreviated in running text to lowercase v period. On the majority of transcript cover sheets and title pages, the letters VS period are used. The plaintiff's name is usually first, followed by the defendant's name. In a criminal case, the plaintiff is referred to as the people of the state of, followed by the name of the state in which the proceeding is tried. The legal proceeding may be referred to as the suit or as the litigation. A writ is a written command issued by a court requiring some action. All right, moving into strict jury charge. The subject is criminal. You're going to hear beyond a reasonable doubt, which is either Y final RD, or you can write it as YARD. You're going to hear perpetrate, perpetrator, perpetration, promote, commission, intentional, unintentional, malice aforethought, manifested, reasonable doubt, which is initial R, final D, deprive, permanently, allegations. All right, so here we go. I'm going to read this. I will start at 80 and work my way to 100. Here we go. Ready? The defendant is charged with the commission of the robbery or of the crime of robbery. The crime of robbery is the taking of personal property in the possession of another from his person or immediate presence and against his will, accomplished by means of force or fear and with the specific intent permanently to deprive such person of the property. These are special allegations that were charged against the defendant, and you will receive special instructions in that regard. In this case, the specific intent to commit robbery and the commission or attempt to commit such a crime must be proved beyond a reasonable doubt. If a human being is killed by any one of several persons engaged in the perpetration of or attempt to perpetrate the crime of robbery, all persons who either directly and actively commit the act constituting such crime, or who, with knowledge of the unlawful purpose of the perpetrator of the crime, and with the intent or purpose of committing, encouraging, or facilitating the commission of the offense, aid, promote, encourage, or instigate by act or advice its commission are guilty of murder in the first degree, whether the killing is intentional, unintentional, or accidental. Murder of the second degree is the unlawful killing of a human being with malice aforethought when there is manifested an intention unlawfully to kill a human being, but the evidence is insufficient to establish deliberation and premeditation. If you are convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that the crime of murder has been committed by a defendant, but you have a reasonable doubt whether such murder was of the first or of the second degree, you must give the defendant the benefit of that doubt. All right, moving into literary. I'm going to do a continuation. Actually, I am going to give you, this is from a sheriff's report, and it was read in court. So I'm going to give you some of that. Okay, here we go. Assignment arrival. On 4/1/2014 at approximately 08:13 hours, while in uniform and driving a sheriff's marked patrol unit, and currently in phase 3 of my field training officer FTO program with Deputy Casey as my FTO, I was dispatched to a LoJack stolen vehicle hit. The LoJack stolen vehicle information first came from the Arizona Highway Patrol's AHP Air 83 helicopter unit. I was driving vehicle number 18P20A, which is installed with a LoJack device. I arrived on the scene at 3250 Monroe in the city of Phoenix at approximately 08:22 hours. The stolen vehicle location was located by the LoJack device installed in the vehicle I was driving, and assistance from AHP's Air 83 helicopter unit. Upon my arrival, I saw a white Toyota Camry matching the description given by AHP's Air 83 helicopter unit. The entry gate to the front yard was open and unlocked, and the garage door to the location was open. Deputy Hecker saw one subject running away from the location through bush lines heading towards Harold Street. Harold Street is the first street east of Monroe Avenue. Deputies Casey, Hecker, Nason, and myself made entry into the residence. I made entry through the garage. As I entered the garage, the Hispanic male made eye contact with me, and I yelled out verbal orders to show me his hands and get down on the floor. The Hispanic male shut the door. I made entry into the residence, and I saw a different Hispanic male with tattoos and two females on the floor with their hands behind their backs. Deputies secured the residence. All right. We're going to stop there. There's more, so I will continue reading that tomorrow. Let's go ahead and get started with our Q&A. And this is going to be defense questioning, so it's strictly defense Q&A. You're going to hear handle, seasonal, conversation, crops, concerning, varies. All right. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this at 80 words a minute. Okay. All right, here we go. Your business is seasonal. Is it not? Yes. What are the busiest times of the year in your particular line of business? Summer. Well, that is rather a broad term. Approximately from what month to what month? From the beginning of the summer to the end of the summer. Well, what do you consider summer? The end of spring. When is that? April 1, May 1, about the latter part of May. Would you say May 15? It all depends on the year, sir. In other words, it varies from time to time as the crops mature. Is that correct? It varies as much as 1 month in our business. Do you have a heavy fall business? Not very heavy. Do you handle melons, or did you handle melons in your business? Some, yes. Quite a bit. Not very much. Now, did you have another conversation with him concerning salary or wages? Not to my knowledge, no, sir. And the two conversations that you have related took place in the summer? Yes, I believe it was in the summer. Did you have any conversation with him in the fall? Possibly. I might have had some then. All right. Moving into another transcript. I'm going to start this. This is going to be 4-voice. It's a court transcript. And I'm going to start this at 60 and I'll work my way to 100. Okay. Here we go. People of the State of California versus James Donald Miller and Alan John Wilson. Matthew Mendoza for Mr. Miller. He's out of custody. And Stephen Smith on behalf of Mr. Wilson, who's present before the court out of custody. Macy Yang on behalf of the people. Okay, gentlemen, please sit down. We have received a first amended complaint, Your Honor. Waive further formal arraignment. Advisal of rights. Reading of the complaint. And enter new pleas of not guilty, denying any special allegations, and remain ready for preliminary hearing. Yes to all those questions, and same for Mr. Miller. All right, I assume we are at a point where discussions have been completed and there's no reason for any further discussion. Is that right? I don't believe that my client would accept the offer that was made in this case. It was 180 days weekends. I don't recall whether it was a felony or a misdemeanor. I believe it was as a felony. That was before they added the receiving of the stolen property. That's Mr. Wilson. That is correct, Your Honor. Mr. Miller is alleged to have had 2 prior prison terms. What's the offer on Mr. Miller? 28 months, 16 months, plus the prison prior, plus restitution. Mr. Miller doesn't want that disposition. No, Your Honor. Is there a disposition that Mr. Miller would like to have? No. There are some important factual discrepancies between the prosecutor and us. So at this stage of the proceedings, I respect what you're saying. I think if I'm hearing this correct, you think that we're really not going to be able to resolve this case right now. That is correct. Maybe in the future, but possibly yes, but not at this point. Counsel, I also respect your experience. You have the same feeling? Yes, Your Honor. Then let's go forward. Call your first witness, counsel. People call Officer Young. Mr. Young is the only witness? Yes, Your Honor, from the people. Okay, you do solemnly state that the evidence you shall give in the matter pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning. Please state your full name and spell it for the record. My name is Austin Edwin Young. That's Edwin with a Y. My title is Senior Special Agent with the Union Pacific Railroad Police Department. Okay, your witness, counsel. Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Young, can you start by telling us what it is you do for a living? I'm a sworn peace officer, State of California, for the Union Pacific Railroad. How long have you been employed as a sworn peace officer? Approximately 8 years total. And how long have you been employed with the Union Pacific Railway? Almost 4 years. Were you on duty back on April 8th, 2012? Yes. And on that day, did you conduct an investigation regarding an alleged theft of materials from Union Pacific Railroad in the city of Phelan? Yes. Is that in the county of San Bernardino? Yes. As part of that investigation, did you speak with an individual by the name of Anthony Rodriguez? Yes. Who is Anthony Rodriguez? He is a project manager for the Union Pacific Railroad. What was his job at Union Pacific? He was in charge of installing positive train control devices to include poles among the Mojave subdivision from Montana to Mojave, California. And where were these poles being installed? Along the Mojave subdivision, which is a railroad track that runs from Fontana through the Mojave area. Now, Mr. Rondell described to you these poles that were being installed? Yes. How did he describe these poles to you? These poles are being used by the Union Pacific Railroad since the Chatsworth collision with Metrolink. These poles are preventing overspeed of trains and derailments in the event that an engineer should be distracted or fall asleep or have a heart attack. These poles will stop the train electronically by activating the train's braking system. They're set up 2 miles apart, and this is a prevention device for the public and for railroads to help prevent derailments such that occurred in Chatsworth, California. Okay, now, did Mr. Rondell describe the dimensions of these poles? I'm sorry? Did he describe to you the dimensions of these poles? Yes. What did he tell you? approximately 45 feet tall, steel construction, 8-sided octagon with a lightning rod at the top and set up for assorted electronics. Did he indicate to you if these poles were specifically designed? Yes. Were they specifically designed for Union Pacific Railroad? Yes. Did he tell you what happened to any of these poles? Yes. What did he tell you about what happened? He told me that one was missing from where he last left it. When was the last time? Okay, strike that. Where was the last one that was missing? It was in the community of Phelan on the Mojave subdivision near the aqueduct. I don't remember the exact location as far as the milepost, but it was going to be east of Oasis Road in the city of Phelan, where it crossed the tracks, where Oasis Road crossed Union Pacific Railroad tracks. When was the last time that he saw the pole that he told you came to be missing? That would be on 4/7/2012. And where was this pole on April 7th when he last saw it? On a railroad property. Was it already installed, or was it laying on the ground? Well, he said it was laying on the ground, yet to be installed. When did Mr. Rondell discover that this pole was missing? The following morning of 4/8/2012. And Mr. Rondell, did he tell you what he did when he found this pole to be missing? Yes. What did he do? He looked around and he saw obvious drag marks from the location leading north. Your Honor, I'm going to object with regard to that. As a legal conclusion, the drag marks. As a what? Conclusion. It's a conclusion. Did you say legal conclusion? I didn't mean it. Just conclusion. I think it's probably a fair assessment that it's a conclusion, but I also think that it's the kind of conclusion that a reasonable person could make. We've all seen what drag marks look like. I'm going to overrule the objection. Did Mr. Rondell tell you what he did after he saw these drag marks? Yes. What did he do? He followed them. Where did he follow them to? In a northerly direction to a large dry wash. And what happened after he followed it to this dry wash? He followed it approximately 8 miles to a residence. Okay, where was that residence located? In Phelan on Sandbar. Is it 8550 Sandbar Road? Yes. That's in the city of Phelan? Yes. Now, what did Mr. Rondell do when he arrived at the residence? He looked around and made contact with someone at the residence. Did the drag mark stop at that residence? Did he tell you? Yes. He told you they stopped there? He told me they stopped at the residence. Now, what happened? Did Mr. Rondell tell you what happened when he got to that residence? Did he tell you if he contacted anyone there? Yes. Who did he contact? He spoke to a woman at the location. I believe her last name was Swatson, and he said that he was from Edison and was looking to store some equipment around there. Did Mr. Rondell tell you if he saw anyone else there at the residence? Yes. What did he tell you? He saw 2 white males. Where did he see these white males? It was on the property, I believe. I don't recall exactly. Okay. Was it inside the property or was it outside of the property? It was inside the property, inside the fence. Would it be in the yard area of this residence? Yes. Did he tell you what he saw regarding these 2 white male subjects? Yes. What did he tell you? He said he saw a flatbed truck with a pole matching the description. Objection, Your Honor. Non-responsive to the question. Overruled. You can answer. Could you repeat the question? Sure. So you said that he saw these 2 white male subjects? Yes. Did he tell you what he saw these 2 white male subjects doing? I don't recall exactly. I'd have to refer to my report. Would that refresh your recollection? Yes. May the witness refer to his report? Go right ahead. Thank you. Yes. Did he tell you what these white male subjects were doing? He said he saw them in the truck. Okay. So you stated earlier there was a white flatbed truck? Yes. Did Mr. Rondell tell you what he observed about this white flatbed truck? Yes. What did he observe? He said he saw a pole matching the description of the missing pole, which was cut up in pieces on the back of the truck. And what did Mr. Rondell see next? He saw the vehicle, the flatbed pickup truck, leave occupied by the 2 white male subjects, leaving the residence. What did Mr. Rondell do after he saw the white flatbed truck leave? He followed it. What did he do after that? He contacted our dispatch, our safety dispatch, who subsequently contacted the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. When did you arrive on scene? I arrived on scene approximately 1 or thereabouts, maybe 1:30. Where did you make contact with Mr. Rondell? The sheriff, I made contact on that road. Is that where the sheriff's department stopped the white flatbed truck? Yes. Mr. Rodriguez, or no, Mr. Rondell was there on the scene? Yes. At that point, yes, he was. Now, did Mr. Rondell have an opportunity to examine the cut up pole pieces that were on the flatbed truck? Yes. What did he tell you about those cut up poles? He said he positively identified the pole as the same missing pole from the railroad property. Now, did Mr. Rondell provide you with an estimated value of that pole? Yes. What did he tell you was the value of that pole? He said the total value was $5,000, including labor costs. I object, move to strike. That lacks foundation, how he knew the value. Well, counsel, I believe that he has a right to state his opinion on the value. It's one of those interesting evidence code sections. Even though I don't know what the foundation for that opinion is, I'm going to overrule your objection. Did Mr. Rondell provide you with an estimate for the part itself? Verbally, yes. What did he tell you was that value? Approximately $2,500. Now, did Mr. Rondell have a chance to see the driver of that vehicle, the white flatbed truck? Yes. All right, so that concludes our live lower speeds class. Have a wonderful evening.